Monday, third grade. Today we will be in our social studies books. In our reading further section, we'll be talking about one immigrant story. One immigrant story. Each year, thousands of people choose to move to the United States. This is the story of one immigrant and her family. What was it like for a young girl to become a part of our country? Esperanza was born in New Mexico. As a young girl, she lived in a very small village. The people in her village were very poor and and many had built their own house out of sticks. Esperanza's father was good at building things, and he made their house out of cement blocks. Most of Esperanza's neighbors were campesinos or poor farmers. The people in their village worked in the fields, and they had just enough food to live on. The United States seemed very far away. It was on the other side of the desert and mountains. Esperanza never dreamed that she would leave her home and live there one day. Her home was in Mexico. At the bottom, this is a picture of their houses. It says many of Esperanza's neighbors lived in houses like these. It's a picture of them working. Esperanza's parents had 5 children. She had 3 sisters and 1 brother. Esperanza's father had to work in the fields like many of her neighbors, and her family did not have very much money. When the work in one field was done, her father would move to another one. People who move from place to place to get work are called migrant workers. Often migrant workers are not paid very much. It was hard for Esperanza's father to earn enough money for his big family. Still, Esperanza liked many things about her life. She had friends, and she knew everyone in her village. Esperanza even liked her school, which was in a large town miles from her village. Most of all, she liked living near her grandparents. But her father wanted to give his children a better life. He needed to decide how to do this. A big decision. Esperanza's father faced a big decision. Should he continue working as a migrant worker in New Mexico, or should he try to find a better job in the United States? You have different ways of making big decisions. One way is to think about what will change if you make a certain choice. You can start with the benefits or good things that you think will happen. Esperanza's father thought that moving to the United States would have many benefits. He could get a better job and earn more money for his family. He also believed that schools in the United States were better than schools in Mexico. If they moved to the United States, his children would get a better education. The top, it was the cost and the benefits. The cost, transportation to the United States, renting an apartment, not seeing the family, getting permission to go to the United States is hard. The benefits was a better job, more money for family. Schools are better in the United States, good future for the children. Most decisions also have costs. For instance, Esperanza's father would need money to move to the United States. It will also take time for him to get permission from the United States to work there. There was another kind of cost too. Her father would have to give up some things if he moved. He did not have enough money to bring Esperanza or the rest of his family right away. That meant that he would have to give up seeing his wife and children for a while. He will also have to give up the money he was making as a farmer. Esperanza's father thought about all the benefits and costs. He tried to decide which ones were the most important. Then he made up his mind. He said goodbye to all his family and began the long trip to El Paso, a city in Texas. El Paso, sorry. Starting a new life. When Esperanza was a little older, her family came back together. Her father had asked the government to allow him to bring the rest of his family to the United States. Esperanza was happy that her family was back together, but she missed her village. She was a little worried too. Esperanza had felt at home in Mexico, but she did not know what life would be like for her in Texas. El Paso, El Paso was much larger than her village in Mexico. At first, it was hard to make friends because Esperanza did not speak English. It was hard for her to talk with some of her classmates. English was also hard to learn. She spent a lot of time in the library reading books in English. She also watched TV shows. These shows gave her more practice with English, and they also helped her learn about American life. Building a community. El Paso, Esperanza's family, only knew a few people. She was glad that she had neighbors who were Mexican too. They spoke Spanish like her, so she could easily understand them. Soon they felt like family to her. As time passed, Esperanza began to feel more at home in El Paso. She found that many people were immigrants like her. These immigrants worked together to help each other. The man who owned the grocery store that her family shopped at was from Mexico too. He helped his fellow immigrants in any way he could. He would give jobs to people who needed to work or even give food or money to families that did not have enough. The people in El Paso had created a community. This community helped protect and support people who had come from Mexico. Helping other immigrants. In the United States, Esperanza's father worked in construction. He helped design and create new buildings. At first, he helped to build new things around El Paso. Many people liked the work he did. Then he began to travel to other states like Arizona and New Mexico to build new things there as well. Soon he was able to start his own construction business. As his business grew, he was able to hire people to help him. Some of the people he hired were immigrants. As they worked together, her father helped these new immigrants learn English so that they could work better in their communities. Esperanza's father continued to work hard in his business. Her father saved up enough money so that she and her brothers and sisters could go to college. With the support of her community in El Paso, Esperanza went to college and chose to become a teacher. She also worked hard and became a citizen of the United States. Soon she found a job in California as a teacher. Today, many of her students in California are immigrants. They come from all over the world. Like Esperanza, many of these students did not know English when they moved here. She remembered how hard it was to learn, so she helps these immigrants learn the language. Esperanza is proud of her students, and she wants to help them get used to their new country. She wants to help them form a community that will help them succeed like her community did for her. That was a good story. So in your Monday folders, you will see a worksheet that looks like this. A read and do. Today is Monday. You'll find it in your Monday folders. Let's make sure we put our name at the top. Miss Bryant. The directions say draw a picture in the box below. Show how you would help an immigrant to the United States feel more at home. So we're thinking, and we all should have something different. But me, as I think, what would I do to help a immigrant get used to the United States and feel more comfortable? I would help them get used to their surroundings. So, not an artist, guys. I draw stick people sometimes. So I would draw a person. This is me with a basket. My hair. Got a basket. Draw my fingers. So be a. Oops, sorry guys. Let's see. Just give me some shoes. draw some kids. I would help people feel more comfortable by showing them different places, like in the neighborhood. I would play with them. So I'll draw another kid. Give us eyebrows. Make him have short hair. So if we were at a playground, let's just draw some swings. That's a slide and some swings. I will probably show them around the neighborhood. And at the bottom, it says write a paragraph to describe what you drew. Well, at the top, I drew myself right here, and I drew two little kids in a playground. So it's my playground sign. And I will start my paragraph and say, I would help immigrants feel more at home by nope, I'm going to say by showing them around the neighborhood. I would also take them to fun places like the also I think places like the park. So I will help immigrants feel more at home by showing them around the neighborhood. I will also take them to fun places like the park. And you guys can think of whatever you would want to do to make people or immigrants get more used to the United States and feel more comfortable. And draw a picture and write a paragraph at the bottom. Thank you guys for doing Monday Social Studies with me, and I will see you tomorrow.